This MTG box analysis will focus on the opening of a March of the Machine set booster box that took place on April 22nd, 2023. We'll begin by taking a look at the cards we saw in this box as compared to the cards that we were eligible to pull from a set booster pack. Then we'll examine the set coverage, coverage by rarity, and duplication. To establish a baseline for value, we'll analyze the value of all three sets, then break down the actual observed value for each in the box. Finally, we'll conclude with a summary. If you want to go deeper into the analysis and see all of the metrics for this box plus at least 100 others, simply join the channel at the Give Me the Data level. Now let's jump into the contents of the box by comparing the cards we were eligible to see versus the cards we actually saw. Using this chart, we can see the non-foils we observed from the main set in green, with the foils we observed in orange, and the set in gray as the baseline. In the non-foil space, we saw between 41 and 44 cards for each of the primary colors of Magic, along with 5 cards from the Jumpstart category and 3 showcase cards. In the foil space, we saw between 4 and 9 cards for each of the primary colors of Magic. We didn't see any of the borderless cards in this box, but there's only 3 of them in the set, so the odds were stacked against us. From the Multiverse Legends subset, we saw between 3 and 5 cards for each of the primary colors of Magic in non-foil. In the foil space, we saw 4 total cards, 1 green and 3 multicolor. And in these 30 packs, we only saw 1 etched foil from the subset. Moving into coverage, from the main set, we saw 227 unique cards out of a possible 337, which means that we saw 67% coverage in the non-foil space. Our highest coverage among the primary colors of Magic was in green with 80%. In the foil space, we saw 37 of the 337 cards from the main set that we were eligible to pull in foil. This gave us 9% coverage of the set. This time around, our highest coverage among the primary colors of Magic was in black with 21% coverage. Moving into the Multiverse Legends subset, we saw 34 unique cards out of a possible 130, which means that we saw 26% coverage. Our highest coverage among the primary colors of Magic was a tie between blue and green with 60% coverage each. In the foil space, we again only saw 4 of the 65 cards, giving us 6% coverage of the subset. Pivoting to coverage by rarity and back to the main set, in the non-foil space we saw 85% of the commons, 94% of the uncommons. We also saw 30 rares for 36% coverage and 4 non-foil mythics for 12% coverage. In the traditional foil space we saw 19 commons, 8 uncommons, but no rares and no mythics. Switching back to the Multiverse Legends subset, we saw 21 of the uncommons in non-foil. We also saw 11 rares for 18% coverage and 2 mythics for 7% coverage. In the traditional foil space, 1 of our 4 cards was an uncommon and the other 3 were rares. Add in the rares and mythics that we saw from the list and the Commander subset, and we saw an astounding 50 rares and 8 mythics in these 30 set booster packs. From a duplication standpoint, we saw 53 cards repeated 61 times in this box. Before we take a look at the value in today's set booster box, let's review the value of the cards in each of the sets. This chart shows all the cards from the main March of the Machine set using non-foil market prices as of April 20th, 2023. Currently, there are 18 cards valued over $10. The top 3 are the Showcase Elesh Norn valued at $21.34. Then we've got the Borderless Ren and Realmbreaker valued at $22.96. And the most valuable card is the Standard Frame Elesh Norn valued at $24.78. The set also features 9 cards valued between $5 and $10 and 34 cards valued between $1 and $5. The remaining 276 cards are currently valued less than $1. And here's a look at the value that we saw in today's box. We ended up only seeing 1 card valued over $10, and that was the Sheoldred valued at $16.13. We didn't see a single card valued between $5 and $10, but we did pick up 15 cards valued between $1 and $5. The remaining 267 non-foils from the main set were valued less than $1. And here's a look at the value of the cards that you can pull from the Multiverse Legends subset out of a set booster pack. Currently, there are 13 cards valued over $10, with the top 6 being the Atraxa Praetor's Voice, the Skithiryx the Blight Dragon, Elesh Norn Grand Cenobite, Atraxa Praetor's Voice, and 2 Ragavan Nimble Pilferers, with the etched foil pulling in $71.44 in value. The subset also features 8 cards currently valued between $5 and $10, and 26 cards valued between $1 and $5. The remaining 83 cards are currently valued less than $1. And in today's box, we kind of struck out. We saw 2 cards valued between $5 and $10, no cards valued between $1 and $5, and the other 36 cards that we saw were all valued less than $1. So how did this box perform? Well, I purchased this box from my local game store a week ago on pre-release at $129.99. The current market price for these boxes as of April 20th, 2023 is $109.99. Now, when I purchased my box, I also received a foil borderless buy-a-box promo of the Omnith Locust of All, currently valued at $20. Today's set booster box contained 30 packs with 12 cards each, allowing us to see 360 cards. We saw 19 basic lands, which have a current market value of $5.66. We also saw 7 cards from the list, valued at $31.39. We saw 4 cards from Commander, valued at $3.70. 42 cards from the Multiverse Legends subset, valued at $26.91. 27 cards in foil, valued at $7.84 from the main set, as well as 268 cards from the main set in non-foil, which have a combined market value of $108.81. Add it all up, and the grand total for the box comes up to be $184.31, which is technically a gain of $54.32 over my purchase price and a return of 142%. However, it is still early, and I do expect the value of these cards to fall as more of these cards go into the hands of players. For those of you interested in cards valued just over $2, the numbers look like this. In total, we saw 14 cards valued over $2, and they have a combined value of $82.59, which means that those 14 cards represent 45% of the box value. Thank you so much for watching. I want to take a moment to give a special shout out to all of the channel members. Your support helps fund this operation and allows me to create the content that you all enjoy. If you're not yet a channel member, I invite you to consider becoming one. By joining, you'll gain early access to videos and many other perks. If you're interested in supporting the channel but don't want to become a member, there are several other ways that you can show your support. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue with the channel. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, do something amazing.